G'day, West Ham mates. Like all you good people, life catches up with you. I can't believe it's been 3 weeks since my last episode. Now, I wanted to do a season preview before the first game of the new season, but that marker just flew by. So let's talk on the other side of the opener, because the boys are catching up to us to sing the opener. G'day again, my West Ham mates, and welcome to another episode of the Southern Joe West Ham Show with your West Ham mate from down under, Southern Joe. So the new season has already started, as last Saturday we hosted Aston Villa. Now, more on that to close out the show, along with my personal thoughts on how we will go this season. First of all, to those of you that have watched my previous episodes, a big thank you. It is humbling that more of you are giving this show a go. I only want best wishes for my team. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notification dinger so you can get updates when the new episodes as they come up and get uploaded. Also, share the links to these episodes so more West Ham fans can see positive content like this, rather than the sad sackery and clickbait that seem to be infiltrating our fandom at this time. I know this show has welcomed some new arrivals previously, but let's have a proper summation of the arrivals and departures from the London airport. London Stadium. Of course, we now have a new manager who has now settled his feet under the manager's desk. I believe I have even perfected his name. It's Julian Lopetegui. Now, he comes to us with an impressive resume, and he's already started reshaping the Hammers into his image. Here is what he and the club management have already signed thus far. So these are the arrivals. First of all, Max Kilman comes to us as a highly rated centre-back from Wolves. In fact, he was their captain right up until the time he left them to join us. He is steady, reliable, and well experienced. We have signed a speedy left winger in Crescencio Somerville from Championship team Leeds United. This could be one of the finds of the season. He just needs to find his feet to adjust to the rigours of Premier League football. Nicholas Fulkrug has made his way to be a leading striker for us after a successful stint at Borussia Dortmund in the Bundesliga. He is 31, but still seems to have some fuel left in the tank. Louise Guilherme is only 18 years old, a starlet from Palmeiras. This young Brazilian has a bright future as a hammer. He plays on the right wing and will make a good interchange for Jared Bowen. And we have recently completed the signing of the experienced right back, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. He joins us from Manchester United and has previously played for Crystal Palace. Now 26, this seems like a signing of a player just reaching his sweet spot career-wise. He'll be good for us. And we've also picked up Guido Rodriguez on a free. This 30-year-old defensive midfielder most recently played for Real Betis in the La Liga. We also have a third goalkeeper who is now our new goalkeeper coach as well. That's Wes Fotheringham, who we picked up on a free. Now, this is a double bonus because if we get that calamity that we had last season where both our main goalkeepers went down, injured, we now have an experienced gloveman, even if his best days may be behind him, but also he's our goalkeeper coach as well. We've signed 18-year-old midfielder Mohamedou Kante from League 2 outfit Paris FC, as well as centre-back Jean-Claude Todibo from Nice. Now, a stranger situation as far as signings goes is the adventure of midfielder of Andy Irving. We actually signed him last season from the Bundesliga club SK Austria, Klagenfurt. We then turned around and promptly sent him back there on loan. Now his loan period has finished and he is now slotting back into the Hammers midfield, amongst the massive ones, of course. Now for the departures. Flynn Downs was on loan to Southampton and he's now moved to the Saints on a permanent basis. Saeed Benrahma and Thilo Kehrer were also on loans to Olympique Lyon and Monaco respectively. Now those moves are now permanent as well. Goalkeepers Nathan Trott and Joe Anang, now, I can't call a grown man Joseph, but they've found new homes at FC Copenhagen and Irish team St Pat's respectively. So good luck to them as well. Ben Johnson has gone to Ipswich Town on a free. Calvin Phillips, who had a less than impressive loan spell with us, his loan period came to an end and he goes back to warming the bench at Man City. And that new signing, Kante, he goes back to where he signed him from, which is Paris FC, for the remainder of this season, but he's ours for a total of 5 seasons anyway. Divine Mubaba and Angelo Ogbonna are without clubs at this time and have been future endeavoured by West Ham. So we wish them well. And before we go to the break, let me reiterate some of the less than supportive posts some so-called fans have been posting on Facebook. It's not so much the sad sack fans who keep whining after every missed kick or whatever. It's the clickbait that keeps popping up on certain Facebook pages. It's not helpful. There are those that believe every bit of crap that they read. The last one that was doing somersaults, backflipping on its position in regard to what they called the controversial Tomas Suchek. Now, controversial, you know what the most controversial thing about Tomas is? It's whether his surname is pronounced Suchek or Socek. He also started our first game. Now, this article purported that Tomas was up for sale, but maybe he wasn't. And Tomas wants to fight for his spot. Now, that last part, the fighting for his spot, was the closest to what they got right. Kudus is also supposed to be up for sale to pay for the new signings to come. And we will apparently listen to over-the-odds bids for our high-quality midfielder, Edson Alvarez. I'm sorry, but these jabronis are drinking their own bathwater. Let's take a break and come back with a late season preview and a review of our first game. So this past Saturday, August 18, 2024, we had our first game of the 24-25 season. We're at home to fellow colour bearers Aston Villa. Alphonse Areola started in goal, meaning Lucas Fabianski was on the subs bench as he continues for Premier League games. The back four was flanked by Vlad Kufal on the right and Emerson on the left. In the centre of the defence, Mavropanos was given a fresh start, along with debutant Max Kilburn. Senor Lopetegui seemed to be starting off with a 4-1-4-1 system for this game. The one in defensive midfield was another debutant, Guido Rodriguez. The other four midfielders were our new captain, Jared Bowen, Tomas Suchek, Lucas Paqueta, and Mo Kudus. Mickey Antonio started as our lone striker. The rest of the bench returned of consisted returning hammers James Ward-Prowse, Danny Ings, and Aaron Creswell, who were joined by other newbies, Somerville, Fulkrug, Tadibo, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and Andy Irving. Now, it's been reported by some that Kurt Zouma has failed a medical test by his purported new Saudi club. Nayef again was not in the matchday squad, but this is a sign that the squad is going to be chock full of starters without much fringe. Every player will be able to slot in at Premier League level. From the highlights I saw, it seemed like Villa dominated most of the first half, especially considering they got off to a flyer when Onana headed in from a corner in the 4th minute to open the scoring. Villa also had a couple of chances, but it also looked like we were getting a groove going, and we stayed in the game. Souček was brought down in the box in the 35th minute, and despite the predictable protests from the Villa defenders, VAR confirmed the obvious, and Paqueta did his little Fred Flintstone 10-pin bowling run-up routine, and he calmly slotted in the pen into the back of the old onion bag. So it was 1-1 our way at half-time. Hey, it was good to see Fulkrug and Somerville get some game time, even if they were limited minutes. Now, in a rumour-fueled twist, Villa scored the eventual winner in the 79th minute. And the scorer? A striker the rumour mill has us linked to signing, John Duran, even if he does spell his given name backwards. Now, while the result was not ideal, it's also not the end of the world. The Premier League is a tough, uncompromising comp. Take one side for granted and you'll end up on the wrong side of the scoreboard. I'm sure of that. This shapes up to be an exciting season. We are building depth in our squad with a blend of youth, experience, and a positive brand of football. We have a manager who can build the club with his vision, carrying on from the platforms and foundations that David Moyes spent his tenure at West Ham building up. I like how no one position is 100% solidified. This is because if you don't have flexibility and options in each position, anytime injuries, illness, and possible suspensions through card accumulation, and that can weaken a team. And this happens less when you build squad depth, and we're building squad depth. Now, I may be seen as bullish or even delusional by some in saying what I'm about to say, but I believe we can qualify for Champions League and possibly get a piece of domestic silverware this season. Now, this weekend, we travel across London to take on arch rivals Crystal Palace. The game starts around midnight Sunday, Melbourne time, so there's a good chance that I'll flick on the Optus Sports app to take that game in. I'll give the game my best shout-out on the next episode of the Southern Joe West Ham Show with your West Ham mate from down under, Southern Joe. In the meantime, hooroo!